Here at Fox 29, the Save Our Streets initiative explores ideas and solutions to help make our communities safer, not just talking about the problem, but coming up with ways to fix this. As of December 13th, 529 homicides have been reported in Philadelphia. That's a record number of murders and a 13% jump over last year, and it was already sort of out of control last year. So what's it going to take to get these numbers down? Let's bring in Fox 29 political analyst Bruce Gordon. Hey, Bruce.
Good afternoon, Jason. So,
I interviewed DA Larry Krasner before he was reelected, and one of the things he pointed to was the pandemic for, an increase in these numbers. I also was just curious because we just heard from Attorney General Josh Shapiro, who seems to be separating himself from the progressive approach to crime. So I guess the question to you is, how much is the pandemic playing in this ridiculous increase in homicides in our city?
Well, the short answer is, Jason, we don't know for sure. And hopefully, and I can't believe they aren't, criminologists are looking into this even as we speak. What we do know is that by and large, people who kill other people know their victims. They were friends. They were romantically involved. They were neighbors. They were business partners. Random killings are comparatively unusual. Doesn't mean you can't get caught in the crossfire, but generally speaking, people know each other. So what happened in the pandemic? Well, we shut down our entire society. Businesses were closed. People were laid off from their jobs. They were sheltered in their homes. So we don't know exactly that that's the cause. What we do know is that the jump in murders from 2019 to 2020 was 40% in this city, and it happened in cities all across the country. That kind of an increase from one year to the next was unheard of in previous years. So we don't know for certain, but we have to believe the pandemic is part of the answer.
Well, no one's locked down anymore, so you wonder, okay, how is the pandemic really affecting people these days? They're out and about, and now crime, it's evolving to these robberies we're seeing on the streets. People,
Sure.
The Rolex is being stolen. Well, I want to get to another thing, though, because the root of the issue here appears to be just easy access to guns.
Well, it's certainly one of the issues, and the city officials will tell you, look, we're trying to get some of these guns off the street. It's a losing battle as long as the state tells the city, look, you may not put together your own rules, your own laws regarding handguns and gun purchases and gun ownership. You may not do this on your own. There are state laws that supersede what you do in the city. And as long as that's the case, it is always going to be difficult. Look, one of the issues is clearly guns. It may not be the entirety of the issue, but one of them is clearly guns. When every time there is a dispute in this city, at least one of the two people involved is armed, that's a problem.
And every time, there's a murder, I get a tweet about DA Krasner and how he's not doing this and that. So how much of the blame lies on the DA?
Well, I think, look, he is always going to be part of that trio of people you look to when these kind of things are going on, these kinds of violent crimes, the mayor, the police commissioner, the district attorney. I can assure you that the 18-year-old kid in Philadelphia with a grudge and a handgun is not sitting around considering Larry Krasner's political persuasion and his prosecutorial policies and philosophies before deciding whether to pull the trigger. Are there some cases where Krasner's office may have under-prosecuted or been less aggressive than they might have? That guy then winds up a month later killing someone? Absolutely. We also know that's happened with past DAs. Is it happening more often with Krasner? We don't know that. What we do know is that Larry Krasner was in office for 3 years before these numbers jumped. His first year in office, the murders went up about 12%. The next year, they stayed flat. Then they ballooned 40%. So again, not clear it's Larry Krasner's fault, but he is certainly a lightning rod given his policies and practices in terms of trying to be a little more smart and savvy, at least in his opinion, of how prosecutions take place in the city.
And now with these numbers where they are, we are guiding through uncharted waters. I mean, this number is, and it's just rising here with several weeks left in this year. Bruce, thank you very much for helping us try to find solutions here on this initiative we call Save Our Streets. Appreciate it, Bruce. We'll see you again. Now the question is, what will you do to stop the violence? Watch our SOS special coming up this Friday at 6:30 p.m. and also 10:30 p.m. You can also head to fox29.com to find resources. We want to hear from everybody as we find solutions here. Now, back